brother, and from my brain. So we talked about many things on our web.
And today we're talking about hummingbirds and three-toed sloths.
So a three-toed sloth is one of the slowest animals on Earth.
It is slower than 1 mile per hour.
Yeah, and a sloth goes at low speed and actually climbs trees to protect itself from enemies.
Like the harpy eagle. So one good reason to be slow is to cover up the trees. So if it's quick, the harpy eagles can see it. But if it's slow, then they might not see it because they're really slow and it's blending.
One of his worst enemies are the harpy eagle. The harpy eagle is really deadly. It was a predatory bird that likes to catch many large creatures. It could catch deer, impala, and it could catch sloths. It can catch heavy waves and has the most powerful talents of any living bird.
But the sloth's worst predator is the jaguar.
The jaguar can stalk inside the grass and actually snatch it from there. And then it'll be a meat for the jaguar, but the sloth will be dead.
So there's something that sloths only do, but it's a risk. Sloths have to go down, have to climb down the tree.
And also, they have to climb the tree for a specific reason. And there are many reasons for climbing the tree. Like sometimes sloths might see danger. Sometimes danger can follow them in the trees, like jaguars
and cougars.
So sloths are really endangered creatures and not common in the wild. And in the rainforests where sloths live, there's a creature link.
It's like sloth moths. They live inside the sloth. If the sloths didn't live, the sloth moths won't have any homes.
Because sloth moths live in sloths.
So it's kind of a creature link because they link each other.
Yeah, and creatures like the sloth moth link with the sloths. And also animals like the sloth moth. The sloth moth can find a sloth. It's the only thing that can find a sloth. A sloth can blend with its nature around it and blend into those trees.
But there are also other sloths that dwell in creatures, like sloth beetles.
Yeah, sloth beetles or beetles are brownish. They actually go inside their fur and live in it.
So they eat all the particles, and there's something that sloth moths do why they live on sloth. The sloths go down so they can actually defecate, and then the sloth moth will lay their eggs on the feces. But they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah, it is an important creature link in the rainforests of America. And sloths are really slow, as we said. So what if one animal tries, then it goes up the tree and catches it before it goes up? Yeah, but these creatures are really sneaky. Sometimes it's that because they're slow, they can't move quickly. They run the ones. So creatures like this are really, really quick at thinking, more than quick at walking.
So now we're going to the hummingbird. A hummingbird is a small bird and mostly lives in Central and South America, parts of America, at the rainforest, somewhere.
Yeah, and the hummingbird is one of the fastest birds with a heartbeat. It broke the record of fastest bird at flapping his wings. Instead of flapping his wings in this pattern, other birds usually flap their wings like this.
So that they can push themselves straight.
Yeah, but the hummingbird actually does it in an 8 shape. That way, it can rotate backwards, upwards, downwards. It can even go upside down while flying.
And every creature has a weakness, and the hummingbird weakness is the sugary nectar.
Yeah, all birds suck nectar from flowers. The hummingbird sucks nectar from flowers.
But only some birds suck nectar from flowers. The pollinator bird, like this hummingbird. So one of the most rarest hummingbirds to see is the long-billed hummingbird. That's that you want to see with long bills.
Yeah, also like the cross-billed hummingbirds. And some painted hummingbirds like the mango-tailed hummingbird. That's the one we're talking about now.
So, like we said, birds of paradise. So, these birds of paradise are mostly like the hummingbird, like I'm talking about right now.
Hummingbirds are really colorful birds, and they have to suck nectar from a flower every 10 minutes to get energy, or they won't be able to fly.
And the hummingbird is so hard to catch, but the only snake or teeth has ever casted is a snake, the eyelash viper.
The eyelash viper was so quick that it could catch the hummingbirds. It actually touched it. They usually eat hummingbirds, and hummingbirds are really dangerous because hummingbirds are really scared of those eyelash vipers, and they actually blend on flowers. Some creatures best adapter of blending into the surrounding, actually protecting themselves.
So the hummingbird finds the right flowers to get the nectar.
Yeah,
Like the bright red one that will attract it, like bright red.
like the bright red flowers that attract the birds. And we said that it does in an S, in an H shape, because it doesn't actually go like other birds do up and down.
They go straight.
Yeah, this one can go in 4 patterns, actually 5.
It can go up, down, back, and forth.
And it can even go upside down while flying. Because it flaps within a different pattern. Flaps within an H shape. So by flapping it in an H shape, it can now go in all rotations.
So to go down, it will flap it like this.
Yeah,
To go up, it will flap it like this.
and there's a pattern that they usually use whenever they're flying.
So if they flap so quickly that the human eye can see it.
Yeah, the naked eye can't see, but in slow motion and computers, it can actually see it. It was in an H that it did the whole time, and actually, when the bird is doing it, if it wants to go down, it flaps harder at the top, and it can go down.
Now this is something that's not slow like the sloth.
Yeah, and it flaps harder at the top to go down, flaps harder at the bottom to go up.
And it flaps harder at the front to go back.
And it flaps harder at the right to go left, and at the left to go right. And it even flaps harder at the bottom to go upside down. Upside down, it can even fly. They're really incredible birds. And there are actually up to 360 species of them. Actually 300 or 360.
Or 6,000. So these birds are so quick that even the most predatory birds in the rainforest can catch them. The harpy eagle, they can't catch a hummingbird.
Yeah, rainforest creatures like the harpy eagle can really get an eye at the hummingbirds.
But they can never catch them, even with those raptor-like claws. So there's one thing that I need to tell everyone is that a bird is the descendant of a dinosaur.
Birds have 3-toed feet, and some birds eat meat.
That's why they call some birds raptors,
Right.
like eagles.
Eagles have raptor-like claws. Raptor-like claws are for tearing into their prey. That way, they can now cut chunks of it and eat.
Even with those raptor-like claws, an eagle can never catch a hummingbird.
Yeah, because a hummingbird is too speedy and zoomy for it. So there's one way that biologists and children figured out to catch the hummingbirds.
Is with a nectar feeder, like put water and add sugar.
Yeah, so you put sugar water inside a bowl.
That's bright red.
Yeah.
So then it can attract the
Yeah, it
hummingbird.
needs to attract the bird. Then you actually hang it on a tree or some line or some pole. Then after hanging it on,
Then you wait.
when you wait, you actually see the hummingbird comes there and sucks some nectar. You can now see a hummingbird for your first time because you can't catch it, but you can lure it. So
Instead of just catching the hummingbird or like seeing the jaguar, the best thing is to just like them and other stuff.
yeah, and back to the sloth.
So the sloth is a really slow creature, and his diet is mostly on wheat. It's a herbivorous creature.
Herbivorous is the things we actually said in our other videos, like all the diets of creatures, like herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous. The carnivorous means it only eats meat.
Herbivorous means plants and fruits, but omnivorous means all the
It
varieties.
eats meat, fish, and lots of plants. It eats nuts, buds, fruits. That thing can eat anything in this variety of the world.
But the sloth is just a herbivore.
So,
And the hummingbird is a pollinator.
so a creature link is that the eyelash viper kills the hummingbird. Then something else kills the eyelash viper. Maybe a harpy eagle. Harpy eagle is one of the most predatory birds in the rainforests.
So the reason why they're called the three-toed sloth, they have long claws and they're mostly three, but some have two.
Yeah.
And they use these to defend themselves because they're really slow. So whenever they have no defense, the only thing to use in their claws is slash.
Yeah, they actually try to slash their enemies, like hit their necks or like pierce some puncture wounds inside their body parts. That way, the creatures get weaker, then they retreat.
So a sloth might be a herbivore and might not be able to kill the other animal, but it can make it to have many wounds and then retreat.
Yeah, but even if a creature's not fast, it can sink really fast. Even if it's not deadly, it doesn't look deadly, but it's actually deadly. Every creature has an adaptation that it can use to get itself in a quick maneuvering, like the sloth. It knows that its claws are really sharp. They're actually for cutting leaves, but it now uses them to attack the predator.
So every creature has a species for a reason. Like the walrus, for example.
For
The walrus
example.
looks fat with these tusks and whiskers like a cat.
Yeah, a walrus has different features from any other animal. A walrus has whiskers like a cat,
Elephant's tusks.
and it has flippers. It actually has no different features because walruses eat clams, and clams are buried inside the sand.
So why they have all these pieces? It's so they can adapt. They use their whiskers to find the clams in the dirt, and they also use their flippers to swim quickly in the water.
So that they can grab the clams and escape enemies. And they use their tusks to crush the clams open to get to the sweet stuff that has nutrients inside the
And
clams.
also to defend themselves. And their head is like a bowling ball. It can crack through ice. So this is one of the examples of these creature links.
Yeah, creature links are really incredible. They have their features for a reason. Like the hummingbirds. The hummingbirds have that 8-sided wing.
So they can go in any angle and escape different predators and different consequences.
Yeah, so bright colored flowers can attract the hummingbirds. So if bright colored flowers attract the hummingbirds can now get a chance. Because if it's brightly colored, it can now see it. So if you want to set a trap or a place that it can now get trapped, or you can catch it or see it.
You need something that's brightly colored. So the hummingbird weakness is that sugary nectar. If it has like low battery, like how things that look. If it doesn't have any more nectar, if it's like they're hungry, then they won't be able to fly that fast. They might even fall down.
Yeah.
And then something might tusk it.
Yeah, or a snake might just kill it or swallow it. Then that's when it gets this maneuvering we're talking about. So the hummingbirds will now get an advantage, like if your phones get low battery, maybe it sucks nectar to the full 100% of its energy and now wastes it all. So it has to drink nectar again. So it has to drink nectar every 10 seconds. So
Or
that
they won't survive.
yeah, and it's really important for the hummingbirds because hummingbirds beat so fast that they waste all their energy. So they have to lick nectar quickly so that they can finally fly. Because without licking nectar every 10 seconds, they won't be even able to fly.
And that's why the sloth likes going slowly, so that then it
can
won't waste that much energy.
Yeah.
And it will store everything
Yeah.
for later.
Yeah, to store all this energy source. In case a predator is coming, then it has some energy to fight back. If a predator is being attacked, it can't just stay there and let it attack it. It has to fight back.
That's how snakes do. Like snakes. Snakes don't bite people like they want to eat them. They
Yeah.
bite them because they think that they want to attack. They can't just let the people mash them or hurt them. So they
Yeah.
have to defend themselves.
It's like humans. They don't want to get injured. So a snake doesn't want to get injured. Maybe you're walking on the road. You now step on a rattlesnake and the rattlesnake doesn't want you to step on it, so it bites your foot quickly, as faster than the blink of an eye.
But sometimes the creatures give warning, like the rattlesnake seeks that rattle, and that's saying, don't step on me, don't bite me,
don't hurt me. But if the enemy retreats and doesn't listen to the warning,
then it strikes.
Yeah.
That's how each creature needs to defend itself. And the three-toed sloth has on the feet those claws.
Yeah, so it will quickly dab into the enemy's skin so they can give them a big wound. They might even die a few months ago
Or get an infection.
Yeah, an infection will be really bad because the infection can spread around the body. It's like a snake bite. A snake bite will puncture the body, it swells up and it kills tissues. And
But
it goes
if
around
it's
the body.
a cut, then a virus could enter, or any other thing.
Yeah, if it's a bruise, then a virus could enter. So if one animal actually bites the animal or put its claws inside, it could be a deep cut. And then a deep cut could actually make the enemy to be weak. Then some viruses or infections could enter. That way,
Even a scratch, even a miss is worse.
Yeah.
If it's a miss, then it will be a scratch.
Yeah, then there can be deep tears on the body parts.
And because it has 3 toes and it will be 3 slashes.
Yeah, so 3 slashes are really deadly. Like for a cougar is one of his worst enemies. A cougar is very, very agile
And smart. And if it can't climb, it scrapes its claws on wood where they get sharper and it can climb higher.
Yeah, the more sharp their claws are, the higher they can climb.
So creatures might be slow, but they need to think quickly.
Yeah, so when an animal can do something, it thinks quickly so they can escape. Like the cougar, as we said. The cougar will try to climb and grab the sloth.
But if it can't, then it will think and it will figure out that its claws need to be more sharp.
Yeah.
So then it can get the perfect angle and climb enough high.
Yeah, but maybe it can't climb enough high. Then it thinks.
Because if it wastes time, even if the sloth is really slow, it can get really high.
Or maybe it'll come down and sneak at the back behind. Then it has to think. So when it scrapes its claws on wood, then the wood makes its claws more pointy. It can now climb and grip more side of the tree.
So if its claws are blunt, it can't climb. So it needs to scrape it so it can climb higher.
Yeah. So when it scrapes its claws on somewhere, then after scraping it, it climbs again. Then if it's not sharp enough, it scrapes again.
And it climbs again until it's able to reach the sloth.
It's an incredible challenge. Like maybe it now scrapes until it's able to reach the sloth. And now grab the sloth as a prize for thinking what it should do so that it can get its enemy and get its prey.
So these creatures are really amazing. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a big thumbs up.
Yeah, bye for now.